As an artist or as a musician, you have to write music for yourself because you have to be a fan of yourself.
Ghost Cult Magazine welcomes in Janosch Rathmer of Long Distance Calling. How are you doing?
I'm fine. So it's very nice weather in Germany at the moment. So not too hot, but almost 30 degrees. So yeah, pretty good. Very busy with all the promotional stuff for the new record, and that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Congratulations on the brand new album Eraser coming out soon on your new label Ear Music. I wanted to start by talking about just how prolific this band is. It seems like, I don't know if this is accurate. It feels like this band, you guys must work all the time because in 15 years you have many releases, EPs, singles, but especially albums. It's like seems like a very intense clip of music.
Yeah, that's true. So every 2 years, I think, since the beginning, we released a new record. So that's pretty. It's a lot of music in the past years. Yeah, but we like it to be in the studio, to be in the rehearsal room, to jam together, and for us, of course, the last 2 years we postponed all the tours like 3 or 4 times, so we had the time. So first, after releasing the last record, How Do You Want to Live, the plan was just take a little bit of time to go on tour, maybe to visit new countries and stuff like that. But then we all know it, this pandemic thing came up, and yeah, we had the time and we thought about, okay, let's use it and let's be creative. Now we come up with the new record and we are really happy, and yeah, so hopefully this time we are able to go on tour and to visit new places and all that funny stuff.
Right. It's great to be getting our lives back. And obviously a lot of people suffered worse than bands and musicians, and a lot of people lost their jobs and their lives, but it is great to go back to shows. And I have been fortunate enough to see the band once, and the shows are wonderful. So hopefully that's coming back. I know it's a summer festival season, so hopefully there are some good ones and some headline gigs for you guys to do.
Yeah, we had some festivals in Europe. We played like Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Czech Republic, and stuff like that. And yeah, but we are a little bit scared of the upcoming month here in Germany, because our government is very strict regarding the rules for the pandemic in fall and winter. So we will. All the big touring that will take part like next year in March, February, March, April, May. So and yeah, hopefully also maybe it's possible to visit the US for the first time, because our new label is like they want to bring us on the table also international. For us, Europe and especially Germany, Austria, Switzerland, that's like it's doing very well for a band like us. But of course, we want to visit new countries, and yeah, also it's definitely a plan that we maybe are able to visit the US for the first time.
That would be amazing. I was lucky to go overseas to see you, but in terms of having you here, believe me, there are many fans, and they would love to see you. And I was going to say, no. Inside Out did a great job with you guys for a long time, and quite a few records. And now you've signed to Ear Music. They are a huge company. They have Alice Cooper, which is like, I always think of that label. I think of Alice Cooper now because he's been there for so long. He's kind of the flagship person on that label, the flagship artist. But yeah, it's really great. I'm really looking forward to see what they do with you. They've done a marvelous job promoting this album. I have seen the video more places pop up than any time before. Any content of yours, I will get to the video series in a second, but yeah, I'm just really excited for the possibilities. Obviously, it's time, opportunities knock only a few times for an artist, so it's really great to see you guys connect with that label.
Yeah, so that's also what we thought when we signed to Ear Music, and yeah, they just convinced us with dedication and with good plans and stuff like that. So and of course, we are very thankful also for the last. We did like 6 records with Inside Out and Super Bowl, which is almost the same label, same people and stuff like that. And yeah, but we are really looking forward to what's now coming up. And for now, we think it was a very good decision to go with ear music. And yeah, fingers are crossed that things will work out in the future. Yeah, you know, it's of course it's a little bit harder to get the people into instrumental rock music and heavy music. Also, when we are talking about playing live, especially festivals, of course you have to convince them a little bit more. I think if you have a vocalist who stands in front and say, okay, let's do this, and they push the people and stuff like that. Of course, we don't have that, but on the other hand, I think all this emotional and the atmospheric sound, and when we play like festivals, it always works. So it's just you have just to convince people a little bit more, but we are very used to it. But I totally agree. So people are getting more and more into this kind of music.
Right on. As far as Eraser is concerned, I really love the record. I spent a bit of time listening to it. And what I notice about the last 2 records is this record, Eraser, is a little more aggressive. There's definitely some faster parts, some heavier songs. And it's just, you know, about songwriting and moods, obviously. But yeah, it's a much more energetic record this time around than the last one, which was a little more introspective, I think.
I definitely agree. So we have much more like harder parts, and I think all the metal background we all have is a little bit more upfront this time. And on the other hand, we also have like a song like Sloth, which is very not very typical, especially when you have the saxophone. It's very first. People maybe think, oh, that's a little bit strange to hear saxophone in this kind of music, but I think it fits perfectly. And the guy Jørgen from Norwegian band's Shining, he just did a very great job. And yeah, it's you know, always try to add some new stuff and then go back to the roots. And that's, I think, the most interesting part in playing in an instrumental band, because yeah, there are not really boundaries for us to try out new things. On the last record, we had like many electronical stuff going on. We had many synthesizers on that record, and on the new record, we have the saxophone. We have strings, real strings. So we had a string ensemble in the studio. We had a horn ensemble in the studio. So also the whole thematical thing which is going on behind the music, that it just fits much better if it's all a little bit more energetic, more organic and stuff like that. So more natural sounding. So that was the main goal.
Nice. Sloth is one of my favorite songs on the record. It actually reminded me a lot of Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon with that saxophone. I love Jørgen. He's one of the greatest. And what a wonderful track. And you're right. It is a very standout track and a very unique track among the whole album.
Yeah.
In terms of the rest of Eraser, I don't know the process. I've always wondered how the band writes. Do you bring in songs? Do you jam in the studio until something comes up? How do you guys approach creating new music?
Depends on. So most of the time, everything starts in the rehearsal room. So it can start with a riff or maybe with a drum groove. So depends totally on the song. And yeah, then we most of the time we record some demo tracks for the engineer who recorded the new record. And but then I think when we go to the studio, 80 to 90% of the song is done, so it's fixed. And then you got the last 10 or 20% improvising stuff. So I started with recording the drums this time, and Arne, who's the engineer now, and he did also the last record and also the new record. He's also a drummer, so most of the time he's also like challenging me, and he say, okay, now play full risk and try this, try that. but yeah, it's really a fun part, and I'm also I like it if I get a little bit pushed in the studio. So that's it's challenging, but also very it's big fun. So yeah.
Awesome. It's excuse me. It's really great that after all this time you guys still care about improving and giving the best performance possible. Obviously a lot of other bands, you rest on your laurels. It's almost 20 years of music, and well, we know what makes the band good, but it's good that you're open to allowing somebody to help coach you and help you improve.
I think it's very important, without dropping some names, but also when it comes to drumming, there are so many drummers who lost their ability to play good stuff, especially in a very, very big metal bands. And for me, it's always, yeah, it's fun to getting better, to try new stuff, and to be curious about new music, and to discover new stuff on the drum kit, and also the guitar players and the bass player, and also when it comes to electronical stuff and synthesizers and stuff like that. So yeah, it's for us, it's a big journey, and I think we are not at the end. So yeah, we are really looking forward to what's coming next. So
the band has always had a very strong visual element, whether it's live or any other creative endeavors that surround these albums. I love these music videos, and I hope there's going to be more. Costin Cherno is one of the world's greatest, creators of content across all medium for bands, and I love these videos. It seems like they're related. I don't think the album's a concept album, but I love that these videos seem to have like a little thread going through them.
it is a concept album.
Oh, okay.
Because every song is dedicated to an endangered animal. So, and that's because the Costin, he did the 2 videos. The first track is Kamilah, which is dedicated to the gorilla, and you have this. I think he did a very, very great job. Also, when it comes to the storyline, because it's it's almost like a little movie or something. You have a very good storyline on the videos. And the second album with the second track, which is Giant Leavings, is dedicated to the albatross, which is the biggest bird on earth. And the last track we put out that is different from the other tracks, because yeah, it's dedicated to us humans, and we thought it's maybe better to have real footage to show to the people. And yeah, but it's also, I think it's also a very good video, and maybe it's a little bit depressing, and yeah, it's not the most optimistic video we did, but I think it's very, yeah, the time is now to react and to show people, okay, we really have to change things, because it's 12:05. So, and we have to maybe turn back the time. That's yeah, what we have to do. And so it is a concept album this time, also like the last time. And yeah, but I totally agree. All the people who did the videos and also the artwork and stuff, it's, yeah, we just can be thankful for that, because I think that's also a very important part for us. When you have the vinyl and have the big artwork and stuff like that, it's everything is very important when it comes to all this art stuff behind the music.
Indeed, I had not picked up on that, so thanks for going over all that with me. And yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I think depressing or not, or shocking or not, we need to shock ourselves into some action as a people. So good timing. And yeah, and it's funny, you made a good point about vinyl. I never really thought vinyl was going to ever make a comeback in my life, and it has. So I'm really happy about this. It must be really amazing to see your work come out on vinyl and make use of the gatefold, especially a band that has cared about artwork as much as yours.
Yeah, for us it's important. So I'm a vinyl nerd myself, so I buy a lot of vinyls. And what I'm not really happy about is that most of the vinyls are not that good sounding, because the problem is that most of the time you know, the cutting company for the vinyls, they get just a CD mastering or something like that. And the mastering guy, who's located in Paris, he did an extra vinyl mastering for the new record, and it sounds absolutely phenomenal. So I think 2 weeks ago I got the test pressing, and yeah, I was really happy. It's because it sounds the way it should be, and that's yeah. So for me, in the first place, as an artist or as a musician, you have to write music for yourself, because you have to be a fan of yourself, because otherwise it's not possible to be authentic and to go on stage and say, hey, we really care about our music, so let's have a good time together. So I think it's the most important point when you write and when you play music, to be a fan of your own music. I think it's important, yes.
Right. You don't want to lose that love at all for what your craft is. Speaking of vinyl, also, obviously we're hitting the 15th anniversary of Satellite Bay next month, but you have a new album coming out. So obviously you have to honor that new album too. But I was wondering if the band had any plans for any anniversary events.
Yes, we think about that at the moment. So there will be not big touring for anything in the next 6 months, but after that we definitely think about to maybe some nice reissue stuff, and also for, I think, our second album, Avoid the Light. No, that's a little bit too early, but yeah. So we definitely think about that, and there will come up some new stuff in the near future.
Amazing. Justin, just as a final question, I always like to end these interviews with a wild card question if I can. And so
Of course.
naturally, the band has been around a long time. You've been in music a long time. If you could get in a time machine and go back and talk to younger you, what piece of advice would you give yourself about your music career, knowing what you know now?
I don't know if I would change some things. I don't know, because I started with drumming when I was like 15 years old. So my first instrument was the piano, and when I could travel back in time, I definitely would say stuck to the piano also, because I was like 6 years old or something, and my parents asked me, do you want to learn the piano? And I was, yeah, okay, let's do it. But then I had like not the best teacher, and but now I of course there are still some things that I can play on the piano, and also when it comes to notes and to write music, and I think I'm able to interact also with the guitar players and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely would say stuck to the piano, because it's a beautiful instrument, and yeah. When it comes to drumming, I think, yeah, just be a fan, always be open-minded when it comes to new music. Of course, I started as a metalhead, and I'm still like a lot of metal music, and I rediscovered so much great stuff from the 90s now in this pandemic. And I also was open-minded for like jazz music and prog music and stuff like that. So, and I think that's always important as a musician, because that's I think then you will get to the next level as a musician.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Janosch Rathmer of Long Distance Calling. Congratulations on the new album Eraser coming out on your music. We're really excited about it. Thank you so much for hanging out with Ghost Cult today.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, hopefully see you guys and see you in the US next year. We will try to make it. So thank you very much for your time.